Hey guys, Micah here with TactiCalifornia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're discussing how CCWs just very well may become legal everywhere. So what am I talking about? How on earth can we take the power out of local sheriff's hands and put it into the people's hands? One bill currently before Congress right now is the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2017. Donald Trump is our president, and he has said as much that he wants to see complete reciprocity from state to state for CCWs, the same way we have reciprocity with driver's licenses. We've got three main talking points we want to hit today. Reciprocity, getting CCWs where you couldn't before, and the likelihood of this bill passing. Number one, reciprocity. Obviously, this would help us in two main ways, honestly. The ease of travel, which honestly, to me, for someone who just went to SHOT Show, where my CCW in California is not valid in Nevada, I couldn't carry my gun around on my person, even though I'm well trained, I have a permit, I've qualified with those guns, which is more than a lot of people have done for their CCWs. I've qualified specifically with the guns that I'm carrying, each and every one of them. And, I felt kind of gypped, I felt kind of ripped off, like, hey, I have a CCW, why can't I carry this just because I'm in another state? Well, the reciprocity of this bill obviously fixes that. It's the federal government finally doing their job and telling states when they are infringing people's rights that they can't do that. So the federal government would basically step in should this bill pass and be signed by Donald Trump, which things look good. It would basically be the federal government mandating that all those states acknowledge other states' concealed carry licenses and let them carry even though they're not a resident of that state. So for example, I'm a California resident, I have a California permit. I go to Nevada where it's not recognized today. Should this bill pass, now Nevada has to honor my CCW and I am allowed to carry according to their local laws. But for the most part, this would really open you up to just the ease of travel. Do you have a CCW? Yes. You go into another state, who cares? You can still carry your gun as long as you have a permit from a state. This also helps us in a quite practical way, which is financially. I have a residential permit here in California. I'm a California resident, I have a permit here, I can carry anywhere in California as long as I'm not violating some weird little law like going into a post office or something like that. As I just mentioned, can't carry in Nevada. However, Nevada does honor non-residential permits from Arizona. I know this gets kind of confusing. So there's two kinds of permits basically. There's residential and non-residential. I'm a resident of California, therefore I have a California residence permit. However, I'm not a resident of Arizona yet. Arizona, the state of Arizona, as well as several other states, issues non-resident permits. That means I do not have to be a resident of Arizona to get a permit to carry a license or a license to carry a gun in Arizona. So I live in California. I want to go to Nevada with my concealed handgun. Even though I have a permit here, it's not acknowledged here. So I have to go get a non-residential permit from Arizona that is then honored in Nevada. All this means is I'm spending more money. And granted, it's not a whole lot, but it adds up quickly. If you try to get this state here, that state there, or you try to collect all 50 states, you'll end up spending a pretty penny trying to get all these other permits in order to carry in all these other states. Should this reciprocity bill go through, you won't have to spend that kind of money. It's a very practical way. It helps all of us carry concealed without breaking the bank. 2, getting CCWs where you couldn't before. This one, again, has to do with that non-residential CCW. Should I not live in Arizona but get a CCW there, now I have a concealed carry weapons permit where I can carry a concealed gun in Arizona. But if reciprocity works, then that means I get to carry in California, which really opens up the door for a lot of people out there to carry handguns concealed legally in states that just are so tyrannical and they've lost it and they think it's okay to take that right away from people. States like California and New York, there's several others where they just have really oppressed the people and made it so that it's either impossible or extremely unlikely that you'll ever get a concealed carry permit in your own state. But get it in the other state? Haha, reciprocity. So that's really, really cool. Definitely, if you guys are planning on going this route, heads up, I would go ahead and start that process now. Start the process of getting your non-residential permits because there will be a huge flood in people trying to get those non-residential permits, and it's really going to slow it down should this reciprocity bill go through. Now let's talk about something pretty important, the likelihood of this bill passing. I wouldn't encourage you guys to go out there and get non-residential permits if I didn't think this thing was actually going to go through. Many bills like this one have tried to go through and have failed. I don't want to get your hopes up. It's very possible this one could fail. However, we've got some things going for us. We both have the executive and legislative powers leaning conservative. That's huge, okay? That's really huge. And Donald Trump's already saying as much, that he would sign something like this should it make it to his desk, really makes me hopeful. Now, what can we do to help this thing along? Well, we need to keep Trump accountable to his word. He said he'd sign something like this. We need to make sure that we hold him accountable as doing so. Make sure you can send a letter to the President of the United States. A lot of people don't know that. You could email him, you could send in a handwritten letter, all sorts of stuff. You could send letters to his staff encouraging him to keep his word. All sorts of simple ways. You could blast it out on social media and tag Donald Trump or whatever it is, saying, I'm really excited for this bill. I can't wait for you to sign it as you said you would, really pushing him to hold his word. Very tangible, reasonable, easy things for us to do. We don't even have to sign petitions. So make sure you support the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2017 in any tangible way. Spread the word, emails, phone calls, all that kind of stuff, pushing our governing authorities to push that thing forward. If you like this video, please click like down below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'm Micah with TactiCalifornia. Thanks for watching.